Today I am comparing two of the most selling gaming laptops on Amazon to find out which one should be in your wish list. Now, the question that should be asked is why I choose only these two laptops particularly. So the thing is, both the laptops have almost the same specs, such as a 95-watt RTX 3050 with 6GB VRAM, 15.6-inch IPS display, although their refresh rates are different, a 1TB Zen 4 M.2 SSD and 16GB of single-channel DDR5 RAM. The pricing is also nearly the same, making them totally worthy competitors of each other. So I thought people like you would really be having a problem while choosing which one to buy and why, which is the most important question. Now you might be wondering if the specs are identical, so what are the differences? So the only difference comes down to the CPU. The Victus has a Ryzen 7 7840HS, while the Dell G15 has a Intel i5 13450HX. But we will be discussing this in detail shortly. But first, let's have a look at the overall build and determine which one is stronger. The G15 has a more aggressive look with two-tone finish and red G logo, while the Victus 16 is more simple and looks like a office laptop with a minimal V logo on the back of the lid. The G15 is thicker and heavier, with orange bands that makes it stand out as a gaming device. I feel like the Dell G15 has a stronger build quality because the plastic used in its build is thicker and heavier, which also adds an overall weight to the device and makes it less portable. And really, the 2.6 kg weight of the G15 is no joke. When I held both the laptops in my hand, the Victus was surprisingly lighter. Its 2.3 kilos of weight is average for a gaming laptop in 2024. Its portability factor is more targeted toward college students. In terms of port selection, there is really no difference. Both the devices have two sets of USB Type-A ports, one Type-C port, an HDMI port, and a LAN port. Now if I talk about the Dell G15, they have obviously mentioned that it can be upgraded up to 32 gigs. However, some videos on the Dell G15 have even upgraded the RAM to 64 gigs, so it's hard for me to determine the maximum limit. But upgrading to 32 gigs should be easy, and the same can be said about the Victus as well. However, I haven't came across any video regarding upgrading to 64 gigs, but 32 gigs is officially mentioned. As for the storage, both laptops have two large-size 2280 SSD slots, each supporting up to 1TB. When it comes to the display, both laptops features the same 15.6-inch IPS display. However, the difference lies in the refresh rate, with the Victus offering a 144Hz refresh rate while the Dell has 120Hz. Generally, the difference between the 144Hz and 120Hz isn't particularly significant. But if you are playing competitive games like Valorant or Warzone, you will notice the difference. For regular use, though, there isn't much of a noticeable difference. When it comes to the display colors, I personally think the Victus has slightly better colors. But the difference isn't huge, because neither laptops is really good for color grading. So if you are thinking about buying these laptops for color grading, I wouldn't recommend either of them. For regular use like watching movies, gaming or other contents, both laptops are pretty good. However, the Victus offers better contrast, so you will get more details in darker areas of videos as compared to the G15. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, the CPU. Both laptops have quite powerful CPUs, but to determine which one is better, I've conducted several tests. The first test is the Cinebench R24 multi-core, where the score of the 7840HS is better than the 13450HX, although the difference isn't that significant. The results of other tests are also almost the same, with only a slight difference in single core performance, with the 13450HX performs better. Next, there is a PCMark 10 benchmark, which tests the basic app opening and closing performance. So in this test, the score of the 7840HS is better than the 13450HX by around 5%. But I know most of you don't really understand these scores, so don't worry, I will break it down further. So, both of the CPUs are highly capable, and you won't face any problem with the basic apps like Microsoft Office or coding apps. Even high-end softwares like the After Effects, Premiere and DaVinci will work excellently. For 3D rendering, it's kind of mix, I can say. You can normally do renders easily thanks to the 6GB RTX 3050. But if you want to enter into more professional heavy workloads like full-fledged 3D animation, VFX and complex AutoCAD works, and even game development that requires the use of RTX capabilities, in this case, you should better look for a minimum of a RTX 4060 paired with either the i9-3900HX or the Ryzen 9 7945HX CPUs. Now without any more talks, let's shift our gears toward gaming performance. So as you can see, despite having the same graphic card, the Victus is delivering higher FPS. Well, I don't know the exact reason behind that, but of course there could be other factors at play, such as the overall system temperatures. Speaking of the temperatures, the Victus once again outperforms by maintaining lower temperatures. For instance, the Victus 16 reaches a CPU limit of 90 degrees Celsius and a GPU limit of 64, whereas the G15 peaks at around 72 degrees Celsius for the GPU and 97 degrees for the CPU. By the way, these maximum temperatures were tested using stress tests like Prime 95 and Firm Mark, which pushes the system to its limits. However, it's important to note that this case doesn't replicate the real usage scenarios, as the laptops typically don't reach such high temperatures during normal usage. Talking about battery life in gaming laptops, there isn't much to discuss, because gaming typically drains the battery much faster. However, for your information, the Victus comes with a 70 Wh battery, while the Dell has a 54 Wh battery. You can understand the differences. Practically speaking, the Dell will give you around 2 to 3 hours of backup for normal basic use without any gaming. Speaking of the gaming, it's not advisable to play games without charging, because it can negatively affect the battery in the long run and also reduces the performance. As for the Victus, you can expect about 3 to 4 hours of backup. So again, in terms of battery, the Victus is better. And there you have it, a detailed comparison between the Dell G15 and HP Victus 16. Each has its own strength, but the ultimate choice depends on your gaming preferences and needs. If you need a laptop that has a better build quality and better single core performance, then you should look for the Dell G15. Overall, Victus 16 is the winner. It has a better CPU, provides a slightly better gaming experience, a higher 144Hz of refresh rate, and a lightweight design as compared to the Dell G15. If you want to buy any one of these laptops or any other variant of these, then you can find the best buying links down below in the comment section. Make sure to check them out. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And let us know in the comment section which laptop would you pick. Until next time, stay awesome, keep spreading positive vibes. Peace out. So if you want to know more about these laptops, then don't worry, I've already done a detailed review on both the laptops. You can see the detailed review by clicking on the I button over here.